people are really gonna watch this?
They ain't got nothing else to do.
Right?
Word.
I ain't going on social media talking shit about TDS radio. I know that much.
My man, Coach Block.
What's up, cuz? How we living?
You're rocking with TDS Radio.
Get it, Kim. All right. She got a vision, and she wants us to execute this vision.
Ooh, man. That's what TDS is about today.
Ken and Kim are the two dopest siblings that I know.
All right, man. You ready?
Am I ready? Are they ready?
Nigga.
What's up? What's up? What's up? It's your man, Coach Block, one half of TDS Radio, and I am here with
Your girl so fab. Hey, y'all.
biological sister. I don't have my headphones on. That's why everything sounds wild. All right. So we're going with this show already.
Get it.
It's
Let's
Tuesday.
go.
It's Sibling Tuesday. And we are so glad for those who are ready and willing to sit with our foolishness for the next 2 hours. So we enjoy everybody who comes in and watches and enjoys and shares and likes our stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So shout out to all of you. And a lot of people have been watching us on Instagram as well. So shout out to y'all who have been tuning in. We appreciate you. And we got a lot in store for today. Of course, we have our entertainment news. Then we have our messy letter that was actually sent to us today. Super excited to get to that because that one's wild. And 7:30, we have Lena Harris, who is going to be speaking with us as a part of Women Impacting Now, our Win segment and series. So we got a pretty full show.
Yeah, make sure you stay with us for the Women Impacting Now because it's very important what her role is. She's an athletic counselor, which is there's not a lot of those period in college, but definitely not a lot of women doing it in college, and definitely not a lot of Black women doing it specifically in college. So make sure you tune in. And if you are a parent of an athlete or any of that good stuff, ask some questions. It can help you because she can give advice, especially, for our younger athletes who may have never experienced counseling or anything like that. It is very important. It's an important part of your process to be to have somebody who can deal with your mental health, because more athletes, more and more, coming out in reference to the strain and stress that they experience with the sport that they play and the mental health that comes along with it. So it's a very serious profession, and we are proud of her for being the first at Cleveland State University to do this job. Yay. So make sure you stick with us and check her out and support her as well. Do we have any other announcements about that stuff? Because I'm sorry, I wasn't on my birthdays, so I got to play it off.
Well, tomorrow we have a really famous photographer who will be coming in with us, Robert. He will be sharing his book that is set to come out as well. The book is super, super dope, where he's featuring a lot of famous jazz artists. He's going to come and chop it up with us. He's a fan of the show. And we're going to also see if we can go ahead and get him to be a part of Fuck Up Nights, which is something that we will be doing on Thursday. So for our trusty people who tune in, we will not be airing TDS on Thursday. We'll actually be at Fuck Up Nights Raleigh. So sorry, y'all. But we'll be back on Friday.
I thought about doing something special for the people who tune in for us on a regular basis, only for us though, but I can't talk about that right now because I might not be able to do it. I'm about to do it from my phone, nothing special.
Oh, okay.
Just on us.
Okay.
But I might do something special, but I ain't telling everybody because I don't want anybody to have those type of expectations. So the other thing I want you guys to stay on board for is I got a rant for your asses about my city that I am from and born and raised from, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and how racist they have shown to be up into the minute. Right now, they are still bombing me for a comment that I made that we're going to ask later on. Did I go too far? Am I a racist? I don't think I'm a racist. So we're going to ask, because there's a lot of white people accusing me of being a racist as we speak. But first, what we're going to do. Yes, a Ken rant. Yes. It's a good one.
Well, I mean, we got a lot to get to, so let's get to it.
We're going to get to it. So let's flow with it. The first one is going to be the birthdays. So I got to wait. Today is Tuesday.
Yes.
So I got to go over Mondays. I got to go back as far as I can go, which is 3 days, right?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So here we go. March 16th. We got to go back to that point. Is our homie, a little sister, helped us out. Matter of fact, she's on our reel. When you hear Kim and Ken is the two dopest siblings that I know.
Queen Hustle Entertainment.
That is
Jasmine
Queen Hustle.
herself.
Yeah, that's Queen Hustle Entertainment. Jasmine Bullock. Excuse me, a coaching colleague, Greg Green, Coach Carlson from Penn Hills, Pennsylvania, back at home. One of my mom's great friends, and she was kind of like an aunt to me growing up. Miss Natalie Schmidt was.
Miss Nat, happy birthday, girl!
Yeah, that was March 16th. Your boy, oatmeal cream pie face. Beanard Allen the second. Justin Bruni
happy
and Johnny Ray, Tiana Wilson, Nicole Moore, Alma Carrington, Greg Bethay. Anthony Mock. Anthony Mock's a good person to know. He is a diamond broker. Abdul Mapp, Tim Skaggs, Houston Legster, and Liam, a good friend from high school, Liam Bonner. Today is the 19th, correct? So today we have Katrina. We have Marquise Burrell, a former player of mine. Tico Bethay, who was a friend of the show. He's also a comic, which I wanted to talk to. He was one of the guys who started out with us when he would make all the jokes and all that. You remember Tico? So Tico's birthday is today. He's celebrating his 53rd. Coach Darnell Almazar, who is at Central. Calvin Jenkins celebrating a big 71st birthday. Congratulations.
Yay.
LK Jones and a homeboy of mine from high school, Mr. Jay Williams. Happy birthday to all of you all. And we appreciate everybody who tunes in and watches. My comments, I have a comment here from it. What does that say?
That's a good question. Are you racist?
Yeah, am I racist?
From me and my Big Mouth podcast.
We're going to get to that. I promise y'all, because I'm going in because they trying to light my ass on fire. But please understand who you messing with, and especially when it comes from
birthdays.
Schittsburg, PA. So let's finish the birthdays, though. Here we go.
Y'all ready? Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hey. Happy birthday to you. Well, you look good. You look good. You look fine. You look fine. We hold you at a good time. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yeah.
And as the comment says, continue to live your life in a way that makes every day worth celebrating. Love, the Sibs. So happy birthday, everybody. So since we got a busy day, no more bantering and all that good stuff. Let's jump into
Go up. It's in order.
I was about to mess up.
Yeah, it's in order. Birthdays, then entertainment news, then messy letter. Oh, usually you say something. All right, we're getting into our entertainment news.
So yes, in our entertainment news with SoFab,
entertainment news. Hey y'all, hey. So let's get to it because we got a lot to get to. There is no change. That's your flow, nigga. Wake up. All right. So getting into our first story. If you actually tuned into this docuseries over the weekend, Quiet on the Set, which is the dark side of kids television, aired on Investigation Discovery this Saturday and Sunday. And boy, oh boy, do I have some things to tell you all. definitely opened up my light to the dark side of Nickelodeon and things that were going on behind the scenes and just how much was happening to our children right in front of our eyes, but we had no idea. Now, it featured several former child stars making allegations of abuse and a toxic work environment. And on some shows by producer Dan Schneider, I don't know if you guys remember him. He was a fat guy with the brown hair. He was the one that was kind of like the showrunner and making the jokes. But he did All That, which was one of the biggest hits on Nickelodeon. He also did The Amanda Show, another big hit, Drake and Josh, and iCarly. The docuseries also revealed that Drake and Josh star Drake Bell, which you guys may or may not have seen that was trending today, was the unnamed child in a sexual abuse case against the former Nickelodeon dialogue coach, Brian Peck. Now, Brian Peck, for those of you who can think back to All That, where there was this one character called Pickle Boy. It was a grown man who was constantly holding a tray of pickles and they would make fun of him. That's Brian Peck. He was a dialogue coach for a plethora of stars, one of them including Leonardo DiCaprio. But it was said that he was sexually assaulting Drake Bell and grooming him. And we actually have a clip of it. Let's just go ahead and show it.
I was sleeping on the couch where I would usually sleep, and I woke up to him. I just opened my eyes. I woke up and he was sexually assaulting me. And I froze and was in complete shock and had no idea what to do or how to react. And I have no idea how to get out of the situation. I couldn't run outside. I had my phone. I mean, I just, what am I gonna call my mom and be like, hey, this just happened. Can you come pick me up? I'll just sit here and wait. I had no car. I didn't drive. I was 15 at this time.
Extremely heartbreaking story from Drake. And the interviewer even asked him, like, what were some things that happened? And he kind of had a moment, a breakdown, and he's like, imagine the worst possible things that could possibly happen to you when you're assaulted. And he was like, I promise you it was worse than that. And then when some of the information came out about what had happened to him, of course, it was sodomy. Different objects were inserted into him. And he just said it was ongoing. There was even an instance where he said he was over his girlfriend's house and Brian kept calling to the point where his girlfriend's mother was like, yeah, something's going on here. This is not the normal habits of a 40-something-year-old man. Why is he so attached to you like that? But he would come to Drake's shows with his friends, and he isolated him from his father. And his father kept saying, like, there's something about this man. I don't know what it is, but I didn't want him alone with my son. And unfortunately, what had happened was he succeeded in separating Drake from his father because he got in his head and, made it seem like his father was robbing him and, taking some of his money when that was never the case. And the documentary also goes into Dan Schneider and his toxic work environment, how he treated women, how he talked to them, and just like some of the really disgusting sketches that he had that were almost, mimicking softcore porn. And just seeing some of the compromising positions that a lot of these kids were in, Ariana Grande being one of them. When you go back and look at it now, you're just like, this was highly, highly inappropriate. And like I told a good friend of mine, because we were talking about the docuseries, one thing that I can say and agree with Dan Schneider on when he did his comment was that a lot of people at Nickelodeon were well aware of what was going on and that the script had to be passed through multiple hands and, things like that. I 100% agree. So not only was it Dan and Brian that failed these kids, but everyone at Nickelodeon failed them as well, because nothing gets on TV without being seen and, about up and being handed through millions and hundreds of hands. So everyone thought this was funny, but just for the simple fact that he was the golden boy of Nickelodeon, they didn't stop him until the latter 2000s. So he got away with it for a while. And then Brian Peck only served.
Where's dude now?
Which one, Dan Schneider or Brian Peck?
Dan Schneider.
Dan Schneider, he's allegedly still making content. He's not completely blacklisted like some other people are. But he's not as notable as he was when it came to his involvement with Nickelodeon.
We better get him like we got R. Kelly.
That's what a lot of people were saying. Same thing with Brian Peck, because people were still willing to work with him, and he only did 16 months in jail after you assaulted a 15-year-old boy.
We better get it. He better be on that
Just
Kel's
saying.
list. It sounds the same to me.
But what's also upsetting are the celebrities who supported Brian Peck. So he was asking for character witnesses, people to write letters. So many other people were like, oh, he's a good guy. He would never. And it's just like, really, y'all?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, yeah, some people think like that. And so then it's just like, keep the code. Whatever that code is, keep it. Because everybody's not lying. Something has happened to some of them. So keep the code. And it's unfortunate. Hopefully they're brought to justice. And hopefully, once again, and I'm not saying it because of R. Kelly, but people who do those type of things need to be, outed.
Absolutely.
And, especially when you're dealing with children. And the ultimate lesson is for these parents. So parents that are labeled difficult, they're not really difficult. They're probably the ones that are in the way of those that are grooming. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not difficult when you're taking up for your child.
Exactly.
So 9 times out of 10, there was probably some angry parents, and the parents who are so involved when you hear about, those type of parents. And it's like, nah, I just know something's up.
Well, that actually happened. The young black boy that we showed him being licked on by the dogs with the peanut butter skit.
Guilty.
Yes, he was guilty. But with the peanut butter, when he kept saying, I don't like this.
Yeah.
Well, his mother, was kind of just bringing some things to light and being very vocal. They eventually fired him. But at the time, he was a child. So he's like, I'm out of a job. Like, he looked at his mom like, this is your fault. So it kind of strained their relationship. But in reality, she was just protecting her son. She knew something was up.
Yeah, you out here getting peanut butter licked off you by a dog. Now, she should make him go do it right now. Now, tell me how you feel. I saved your black ass. Now get up and get out my face. For you to been on that just like that.
Right.
Crying.
I mean, he did speak up. A lot of them
talking about something was put in your boo-boo. Now that I saved you. It'll always be. Don't I tell you all the time? It'll always be your kids. It'll always be your kids. Now you get, I lost my opportunity. I saved your ass. Figuratively and literally. You see your homeboy on there like, and it was just crazy.
Because it is.
I'm
15 years old.
But I'm saying that's what, look at your homeboy and tell me if it was nuts. Now, you apologize to me because I saved your ass.
Yeah, absolutely.
I had dogs licking peanut butter off you.
And it's so much more. When you guys watch this documentary, you're just really going to be like, this is insane. This man was out of control. But what was also crazy was the simple fact of like the stars of Ned's Declassified. Now that was later. That was after Dan Schneider. They felt the need to joke about it. And then of course they're like, well, that wasn't a part of what we experienced. Okay, but we're not going to sit here and act like what this boy went through or what these people went through. Because we had adult women that were writers in the room that were verbally, abused by Dan Schneider. Let's not sit here and act like what they went through. Like you said, everybody isn't lying. There's validity in this, so much so that some people were so afraid to be on camera because they knew how powerful a lot of these executives are. So they'll be blacklisted. They'll never work again.
And that's the problem. People know that ultimately who controls Hollywood, who controls television. And so you speak out against it, you won't have a job. The comedian Rail just spoke about fearing that he was blacklisted because he was asked to do some compromising things.
And he stood up for another woman.
There was a gentleman. So on the Instagram, yes, there was one of the gentlemen was found guilty and served 16 months, correct?
Yep, only 16 months.
Only 16 months.
That was the one.
So there's two guys that we're talking about,
yes.
But one was found guilty.
And the other one was just fired.
And the other one just got fired. So yeah, I mean that's a terrible thing. And parents just don't ease up on your kids, man. Don't just trust people to be around your children because you never know who's the weirdo that's around your kid.
Right.
And you don't want it to come up years later like this, and then now you feel like you didn't protect your child when you were just trusting them with adults that claim to be trustworthy.
Right.
So, it sucks. And hopefully justice is served. I don't know what justice can be served at this point in time, but hopefully justice is served because that trauma will never leave those young people. Ever. You'll always remember that. And so because they're stuck with it forever, somehow, some way we need to make sure this guy is stuck with it. The fact that he's still working in Hollywood and not at least brought to trial is sickening.
Yeah.
Let's at least bring it to trial and find out what's going on, and then let everything play itself out there.
But even then, like with Brian Peck, where it's clear that you assaulted a 15-year-old boy, you only got 16 months and you're right back to work. And then for only some companies to say, oh, we didn't know, we asked him about it, but he said it all got resolved. The fact that we even have to have this conversation and you serve time for it should be enough for me to be like, I don't want to work with you. And I don't think it's good for you to be in any setting with any young boys or women ever again.
Well, kids aren't protected. And that's just the bottom line. Not at all. Kids aren't protected at all in this type of arena. Everybody wants that coin and that money and whatever it takes. So whatever weirdos are around and creepers are around, that's what they see fit to, continue to support, because at the end of the day, it's all about money.
It is. And so many of these kids, when they talk to them now, like you look at Amanda Bynes, you look at Orlando Bloom, you look at Jake Bell, you look at the one kid, Leon, who battled with alcoholism. All of them have battled with some sort of substance abuse. And even Drake, he had a troubled past as well. But look what happened to him at 15. Look at what happened to all of them.
Cuba, did your brother?
No, this was before. This was before.
Wild and crazy.
That was before.
Cuba.
That was before.
Keenan?
Same thing with
Keenan?
well, no, they didn't, but they said that Dan clearly had his favorites. So there were people that he knew
Kel?
what to. No,
Is that why you went ghost?
Once again, they clearly had his favorites, and it wasn't black. So
because he knew we fighting, we know to fight for our booty at a early age. Early, ain't nobody gonna be like, I'm just gonna freeze, nigga. It's going down in there.
Anyway,
Snyder. It's going down. I bet you Keenan, Kale, and Cuba, Lil Cuba, Omar, is that his name?
Yeah, Omar was before Dan Schneider, and you'll be happy to know, because I know that this worried you. Mark Summers was not a part of any of this. He didn't even know. He's like, look, I had a family. We were just getting slimed and having a good time, and everybody just went to their respective corners.
All right. It better be.
I knew you were worried about Mark Summers.
Mark Summers would have hurt me like it hurt my choir director in high school.
Oh.
When I found out my choir director in high school was raping boys. That blew my mind. And yes, that happened. I literally, not to me, but my choir director groomed. Yes. Now that I know what grooming is, he groomed young boys and sexually assaulted him.
Absolutely.
And it literally, I'm not making nothing up. It's in the paper. It's in the papers.
We have some comments.
We have comments.
Yes,
okay.
yes. So no offense. Hold on, click it. I can't see right there. No offense. Yes, we all watch the shows, but what did he do special that anyone else can't? There are kids with brilliant minds who can write those scripts.
He got the access to the like publishing the channels, like to get it out. Now kids can do it on their own.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now kids.
He was in a completely different realm where it was like, because he was so forward thinking, it was like, oh, let's just give him money because everything that he's suggesting is hitting. Like all that was a hit. The Amanda Show was a hit.
Nickelodeon in general was just hot.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think Nickelodeon got the same thunder anymore as it used to have.
No,
but it shouldn't with this shit going on.
Absolutely not.
Stick to cartoons. Paw Patrol.
Dan was a misogynist and racist. Absolutely. 110%. Saying getting slime don't make it better. Tuck. You know what?
Maybe the slime was
let's move
significant in other ways. Yeah, it was all terrible. Yeah. All of it's terrible, and nobody should touch little boys. Like
nobody should touch kids.
I mean, I'm sorry,
not
y'all know what I mean. Like that was a little boy that was telling the story. Nobody should touch anybody first of all, don't touch kids. Then we shouldn't be in creeper mode where we're touching people unwanted anyway. Like let's not do that for parts in movies and because you're upset because you can't get things that let's keep our fucking hands to ourselves out here, people. Like this is terrible. Stop using your power as leverage for these situations. And way too many people are saying this is happening, and we are not seeing enough people held to justice. And people are scared to speak up. Yes. Like I said, for example, Lil Rel is a grown-ass man talking to Shannon Sharp and refused to say the name of the producer who put him in a compromising situation and would not and almost blacklisted him. He was afraid to say the guy's name. He did not say it. And then he stopped making eye contact with Shannon and looked at the fireplace, which let me further know like this is true. He just don't know how far to go. And then he's in the story. He don't know how to get out of it.
Right.
This is fucked up. Like, and we as a people should be asking these questions of why, who, what, where, when, and why. And then now what do we do to get these get these people out of Hollywood, which probably is nothing, but
it's because as me and my good friend were talking about, it all comes down to money. You know, Dan Schneider was making Nickelodeon a lot of money. Viewership was up. So to hear anything about him being racist, misogynistic, or, you know, creating these scenes where these young girls are in very provocative situations, they're like, as long as people are laughing, let's keep it moving, because Nickelodeon was winning, you know, so they don't care. It's all about, like you said, money at the end of the day. That's all it's about. Just money.
Right.
That's I said.
That's it.
So, like I said, make sure you guys check that documentary out. It was on Investigation Discovery, called Quiet on the Set, The Dark Side of Kids TV. Huh?
I'll be watching it.
Yes, please do. I would like to hear your thoughts. And then report back to us. Let us know. I love to have open dialogue about things like this, and also watch the program while you guys are at it. That's on Netflix. But on to some other news, some strange news. Conspiracy theorists are having a field time with this one, but Kate Middleton was spotted out and about after a lot of people on social media were just saying, what the hell is going on? Where has she been? Because we haven't really seen or heard anything from her since about December, beginning of July, where she was supposed to have abdominal surgery. And next thing you know, it was just crickets. We didn't see anything from her. We haven't heard anything. She was not spotted with William or anything like that. So now people believe that picture that you just saw isn't even actually her. It is someone else. And they had people doing like facial recognition and trying to analyze the face of like if this is actually Kate Middleton or not. But look, people, sometimes y'all have too much time on your hands. What?
Who's Kate Middleton?
Oh my gosh.
I wish y'all
Prince
please don't
William's wife?
think I'm joking. Like I'm dead. I'm like, who?
Prince William's wife.
Oh, the black girl?
No. That's Meghan. That's Harry's wife. She's the Duchess. So Prince William, the oldest of the royal family, his wife, the first one to get married.
Gotcha.
You still don't know.
Princess Di's boys.
Yes. The oldest one. Yes.
That's his wife.
That's his wife. Now the youngest one is married to Meghan.
The black one.
Yes.
Where everybody's pissed.
Yes.
Okay.
So then now everyone is saying what happened to the oldest one's wife, Kate.
Oh, well, their family kill people all the time. They killed their mother.
God. Okay.
Now that I understand that, now that we got that, she could be dead. They killed their mama.
Oh my God.
The hell are we talking? The queen is one of the most treacherous people, and I'm sure she still got people who follow her orders that she left behind.
Okay.
With her mean ass. I knew when they don't get me started, because I'm already on people about racist shit.
Oh,
now,
Jesus.
I knew. Oh, now that I know, she might be gone. She might be dead.
Well, that's what a lot of conspiracy theorists are thinking, that Kate is no longer with us, that this woman that William was strategically walking out after everybody's like, yo, like there are people on TikTok.
I need to see the picture again now that I know what we're talking about. This woman could be that could be a mask.
There are people on TikTok who have been talking about this because it was very odd. The last thing we heard was that she was supposed to be having abdominal surgery. The next thing, it was just quiet. Nobody heard anything else. We didn't hear if she was okay, if the surgery was successful. You know, we didn't see the usual of them coming out waving or any of that. We didn't see anything.
Here's the question though. Are we supposed to? Maybe they didn't want to.
And that's what I'm thinking. At some point, I do think, even though everyone thinks that when it's the crown, you know, you don't have as much privacy as you would like, but it's one of those things where, you know, you kind of have to be in the public because you're the people's, you know, royalty. So we need to know you're okay. And the fact that no one is saying anything is extremely odd, because when they found out Prince Charles, well, King Charles now, had a colon cancer scare, all of his business was out there. I'm like, well, damn, y'all gonna also do the video of going up his butt? Like, what's happening?
But nobody cares about who they marry. They're just like, we'll get another one. Throw her away.
Oh my goodness.
It's the truth. You see what they did to their mama. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? They killed that woman. So what? I'm surprised Megan's lasted this long. That's why I'm like, wait, something don't seem right. Who's Kate? Because all I knew was Megan. And now you're like, oh, that's the other brother's daughter.
Yes.
Who?
Wife.
Or yeah, other brother's wife. Who? Him? You're not popular
anymore.
And so easily they could just vanish. Nobody cares. And I'm not saying that nobody cares as in like nobody cares as far as you reporting the news. I'm saying nobody cares enough to be like, you know what? I ain't seen Kate Middleton today.
They did. I'm telling you, this is all over TikTok and Instagram where people were coming up with their own theories of what happened to her. Like, that's the reason why we have this photo, because so many people were in an uproar of what the hell happened to Kate. What did y'all do?
Oh, so well, at some point in time, they might just want their business. And maybe the surgery and things like that, you know, behind the scenes, it's like, let's just chill for a minute. You know what I'm saying? And then now,
what?
Things cut off. Okay. So then like let's just make sure it was my laptop.
Oh, okay.
Let's just make sure everybody's just, you know, chilling for a minute. I don't see the story. And I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry for everybody who's in the news who cares about these things. But I also believe that at some point in time, these people may get tired of this shit and be like, let's just go off the grid for a minute. You know what I mean? And because you're not the popular of the two brothers in family, you might need to do that because we care about Megan. Now, if Megan was missing, I'd be like, where is Megan's black ass? Y'all know, y'all ain't want her to be in the family in the first place. Y'all racist ass, because y'all killed that boy's. I ain't letting that go. Because Princess Di was such a sweet woman. And when you go back and look at the story, y'all murdered that woman because the queen had problems. That's messed up. But we're not going to bring that up because it's old. But this is new. Kate Middleton and them, what he's not William. All right. Those two, the forgotten ones. They may have to do this because nobody cares about them. We care about Megan. That's the ones that we care about. Because when you're talking, I'm like, who the fuck are they? When you put up the picture, I'm like, I ain't seen her in no movies. I honestly was thinking, like, what movie was the last movie I seen her in? I swear to God. And I'm like, that's what somebody said my face. I don't know, Jay, because I'm like, oh, shit, who? I don't know nothing about this woman. Now, if you would have said, you know, the royal family and Megan's missing. Oh, shit, y'all. Where's Megan? And it's not because she's black. It's just because she's black.
No, it's because she's black. It's because she's black.
Oh, shit. People are going to say I'm racist again. I'm not racist. I promise I'm not.
Let's move on before we dig ourselves out of a hole that we cannot get out of.
Oh, no. You had comments, I think. What was this one? Yeah,
they definitely took her out of here. Big said it right. First time nobody cares. But speaking of
Megan
being sick, for those of you, the Barbs out there who were in NOLA, sad to say, the show will not go on.
Good.
For New Orleans, and I quote, it says, due to doctor's orders, Nicki Minaj must reschedule her NOLA show tonight.
Was that the right graphic?
Yeah. Yes. As Nicki is still okay, our team does not want to run the risk of others getting sick, and Nicki would not be able to give NOLA the show they deserve. We are working diligently to find a new date, so please hold on to your tickets and we will inform you soon. So Nicki also sent out a tweet letting everyone know, like, you know, just prayers. I felt like I had COVID, you know, but tested negative, but I just, you know, want to rest up so I can give you guys the best of me. So unfortunately, no word on what's going to happen with the rest of the tour, but as of right now, things are kind of on pause.
How many tickets were sold?
That I don't know.
Whenever I see stuff like that, I always be like, man, they ain't selling enough tickets.
No, it ain't J-Lo, because J-Lo's having a tough time trying to get butts in seats.
J-Lo.
Yes.
Yeah, but that was Nicki.
Yes.
Is she having problems?
I don't think she's having problems. I don't think so.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. But J-Lo, on the other hand, she's having
some issues. J-Lo. Like, she needs to she needs to do like small clubs.
You gonna reduce her to small clubs?
Yeah. I mean, all her hits together don't make one song. I mean, one album. And unless she has the people who she featured or had featured on her albums, there is not three J-Lo songs without a black rapper or a Latin rapper that you would be like, that's it.
I want to hear Waiting for Tonight was my shit. I don't know what y'all saying. Waiting for tonight. Oh.
Okay, that's one.
When you would be.
I give you one, and I'm sure there's an audience for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no more problems. But okay, so Waiting for Tonight. That's one. I gave you three.
Well, I told you I'm not a fan of her music, but that song I enjoyed.
That's what I'm saying. That's one jam over years.
Well, of course, you know, you have the If You Had My Love, and I don't think that anyone was featured on that one, but that's old.
But the remix is what everybody got, you know what I'm saying? And I think Fabulous was on the remix.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, so her by herself, she would have to leave Ben, get back with Diddy, so that
do that.
So everybody who was featured when she was trying to be that person would deal with her, because ain't nobody gonna deal with her as long as she's Jennifer with Ben. She got to go back to Jenny so that she can sell the tour. You can't sell the tour out as Jennifer. You have to sell the tour out as Jenny. And so Jenny lived on the edge with Puffy. And then that's when all the black artists came on, and then Fat Joe and the Latin artists. But then since she stopped that, then that stopped.
There may have been a reason why due to recent updates. I'm just saying.
Could have been. But then when she's with Ben, she's Jennifer, and then her movie career goes the way it needs to go, because that's how that works. Then you said, I'm gonna go on tour, but you married to the wrong one, and you're like, shit. So if she flip it and do it right, if she do a movie, then we gonna go see that. But music, you with the wrong nigga. So I see it. You gotta go. You gonna sell out a tour? You can't sell out a tour with Ben as your husband.
Or do like a South American leg.
I don't think they like her either.
But then you get Mark Anthony, the two of y'all together. Yay, mi gente.
Nah, I don't think they gonna vibe with that.
No,
I don't think they vibe with her. I read that people was mad at her about Selena.
What?
Yeah, they were mad about that because the portrayal, like, she was close, but
because Selena was Mexican and she was Puerto Rican. She did a phenomenal job. But then again, I am not of Latin descent, so I don't have to say. But I think she did a really good job. We was mad at old
girl for doing Nina Simone. I ain't even watch it.
That was terrible.
So they may feel the same way with the Mexican and the Puerto Rican.
But they put a prosthetic nose on her. Like, come on.
Hey, well, I mean,
anyway.
I don't know what to say.
Anyway, so you all may have heard about Bruno Mars being in some possible issue when it comes to money and gambling.
Anyway, a mosquito? What is Bruno?
He's Hawaiian, I believe.
Exactly, I believe. What is Bruno?
I think he's Hawaiian. But allegedly.
We all like Bruno because he's a little bit of all of us.
Allegedly, he has a $50 million gambling debt with MGM Casino. But I am telling you now, MGM has spoken. That is not true. It is not true. Now, the company has come out and said that it was completely false writing. And they said they're proud of their relationship with Bruno Mars, one of the world's most thrilling and dynamic performers. They also said that they're celebrating his residency at the Park MGM in partnership on the Bellagio's new Pinky Ring cocktail lounge that he's set to open with them. It said,
he had a debt. He had it. I'll let you finish, and then I'll give why he had that debt.
It said, and I quote, Bruno's brand of entertainment attracts visitors from around the globe. MGM and Bruno's partnership is longstanding and rooted in mutual respect.
And his ass owed that money, and he's working them shows to work that money off. MGM is the one that's doing the residency.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he owed that shit.
They said that.
You gonna work it off? That's like a nigga that owe money and ain't got it. And you got to go wash dishes. He better get up there and sing. Skate with me, baby. I skate.
Well, they said it was false, so I'm going with MGM.
Of course, they're gonna say it's false. They gave him an offer you can't refuse on The Godfather. When Michael was trying to take over Vegas, he went to go meet with all the powers that be. The one entertainer, he said, well, here's what we got. We got this contract. and I need you and a couple of your friends to show up. Will you do that for your godfather? And dude knew I had to say yes, or we would have a problem.
We're gonna have problems.
So what did he do? He signed the contract and said, anything for my godfather. Now we know who owns Vegas. We know this.
Yes.
All right.
We do.
So your black Hawaiian something rock, whatever.
Let me look it up. Let me see.
You are, I don't know what he is. You owed that money. And MGM said, well, here's what we can do. You can do these shows and we can get the money. Or we won't have too much more Bruno. Now because you know the song, we don't talk about Bruno. That'd have been his ass if he didn't pay that $50 million or do these shows. It's not ironic that a rumor comes out that you owe the same people that you're doing shows for. We didn't hear that with Usher. Usher's my guy. Usher, if you have not noticed, I am a fan of you because you've done it the right way. So we don't hear that with Usher. Usher didn't have no issues with his residency.
Okay, he's half Puerto Rican and half Jewish. There.
So then why do we put him with us?
I don't know. I don't know. Shall we move on?
Whoa. It's a hell of a combo. I want the backstory. Does he have a documentary?
I don't know. I don't know. According to, I got way too many devices here. According to Google, he is the son of Peter Hernandez and Bernie San Pedro Bayot. His father is of half Puerto Rican and Jewish ancestry. Oh, I'm sorry. And his mother is Hawaiian from the Philippines. So he's Puerto Rican, Jewish, and Filipino.
It's an interesting mix.
It is. Shall we move on?
I don't want to get called racist again because I'm not. I just like to know people's ethnicity. And he is a lot.
He is.
But he owes that money.
I'm going with MGM. They said that is completely false.
Of course they would. Do you think they're gonna admit like, yo, he owes us money and we're gonna make him dance for that money? He owe that money and you're gonna do them shows. Come on, man. That's it. The coincidence of the rumor matched with where you're doing your shows.
And he's coming out with a lounge, the Pinky Ring Lounge.
And a lounge and all that.
And the Bellagio.
Man, all that is mob ties.
Moving on. Yes, he was raised in Hawaii. That was my mistake. I thought he was Hawaiian, but he was raised in Hawaii. All right.
Skate for me, baby.
So
slide your way up on me. This nigga boy. We let anybody just do us better than us. Continue.
Beyonce.
Oh, speaking of doing something you ain't supposed to do.
Is sharing a powerful message ahead of her Cowboy Carter release date, which is set to release on the 29th of this month. Now, be mindful, this is a little lengthy, but I'm going to go ahead and read what she decided to state on Instagram.
What did the queen
It says, today marks the 10-day countdown until the release of Act 2. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all my supporters of Texas Hold'em and 16 Carriages. I feel honored to be the first Black woman with the #1 single on the Hot Country Songs chart. That would not have happened without the outpouring of support from each and every one of you. My hope is that years from now, the mention of an artist race as it relates to releasing genres of music will be irrelevant. This album has been over 5 years in the making. It was born out of an experience that I had years ago where I did not feel welcomed, and it was very clear that I wasn't. But because of that experience, I did a deeper dive into the history of country music and studied our rich musical archive. It feels good to see how music can unite so many people around the world, while also amplifying the voices of some of the people who have dedicated so much of their lives educating on our musical history. The criticisms I faced when I first entered this genre forced me to propel past the limitations that were put on me. Act 2 is a result of challenging myself and taking my time to bend and blend genres together to create this body of work. I have a few surprises on the album and have collaborated with some brilliant artists who I deeply respect. I hope that you can hear my heart and soul and all the love and passion that I poured into every detail and every sound. I focused on this album as a continuation of Renaissance. I hope this music is an experience creating another journey where you can close your eyes, start from the beginning, and never stop. This ain't a country album. This is a Beyonce album. This is Act 2, Cowboy Carter, and I am proud to share it with y'all. The Queen has spoken.
Okay. I see it as pandering at its finest.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Because you don't have to dress like that as like the way you're even dressed for this picture is, to me, is pandering. It's this is what this is the shit your husband does. You see what I'm saying? Like, we'll say a sly comment, and then this is the diss, though, the picture. Because you can still be Beyonce without the white hair and the red, white, and blue and holding the American flag. You are perpetuating the imagery that we think of country music by saying, this ain't country music, y'all. This is a Beyonce album. We ain't never seen your ass look like that.
Do you think it is because of her hurt? She said that she was hurt by what happened to her. So she's doing it as like, all right, well, I'm putting my foot in the game and my foot on your necks. And it is what it is.
American fiction in country music. Because at the end of the day, you could still be Beyonce and still give us the looks that we have seen all your career. That specific look of that specific riding the horse with the flag, the red, white, and blue. And all. When does this album come out?
The 29th.
And it's during election time. Their marketing is freaking them two and whoever markets, and they sit in that room together and come up with this stuff, are freaking geniuses, because people are going to eat it up. But
it already is happening.
Yeah, huh?
It's already happening.
That's what I'm saying. People are eating it up. I just don't. If we sit down and really look at it, though, like, come on, Beyonce, that is taking the hurt that you experienced and taking one of them good old American pies and smashing it in their face.
Is that a problem?
It's only a problem because you said that that's what you don't want to happen in what you just spoke. You get what I'm saying? Now, if you were saying, I'm putting this in all y'all faces, forget y'all. This is a country music album. But to say, no, this is a Beyonce album that is inspired by country music. So it's a country album. You can't say that she's talking just as crazy as Kanye, but because it's Beyonce, nobody's going to say, I promise you. What did he just say about he's a genius for all genres of music? I created all genres of music. She's saying the same thing. Oh, I want a genre. I don't want to have any genres or people to be discriminated against based upon genre. Hey, man, that's a reality. There are R&B, there are hip hop, there are country, there are genres of music.
There's definitely genres of music, but I think what her issue is that, you can have anybody do hip hop, you can have anybody do R&B, but when it comes to country, it's like, no. It's our good old redneck, American people who hold it. And then anytime somebody of color wants to step into that genre, it's a problem. Why is it a problem for us to be able to step into country, but we can accept y'all for R&B, we can accept y'all for Afro beats, we can accept you for hip hop, we can accept you for neo soul, but country is off limits when that's something that we created.
Oh man, if I say something, it's going to be racist. And we already talked about earlier today me proving not to be racist, because I'm going to say that is not a country music problem. That's ours. Because we are the ones that don't protect our artistry and our artists amongst what's going on the way country music does. So they draw a line like, oh, stop it. And we're like, come on to the cookout, brother. And sometimes I don't think we need to let everybody to the cookout.
Oh, absolutely agreed.
So that's where I'm like, because there are Black country music artists, but there's not a lot of them because they do gatekeep their genre. And I'm going to say theirs because currently it is theirs. Now, historically, it ain't. Just like there's a lot of things historically that does not belong to people who claim that it's theirs, right? There are a ton of Black country artists, and a lot of music has been influenced by those people. People like Ray Charles have great country music albums. You know what I mean?
Well, like Cuz is saying, she said country is a white version of the blues, in all honesty.
Yes. Like, yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel her, but I also feel like the pandering part of this is like, that is Jay-Z petty, because Jay-Z's petty like that. That's Jay-Z petty. And I know petty when I see it, because you know I'm petty. So I'm like, Beyonce, you are Beyonce.
Absolutely. And that's why she's doing it, because she can. And because she knows she's going to make numbers. And in a way, I'm glad to see it. I
want to see people enjoy the album, but I don't want to see y'all act like y'all always like country music. Okay? I want us to support Beyonce and any artist who's really about that life, but I don't want to see y'all walking around crazy like that, as if that's what y'all been doing. Because
this ain't Texas.
Every time I hear that song,
ain't no
cut
hold
it off.
'em.
That shit is terrible. It's one of them things where, like, you got the cousin who, you know, like, I don't really rock with you, but y'all better not say nothing. That's what this country album is. Beyonce, I'm not rocking with the shit. You're not gonna have me out here with no line dances. Woo! You ain't gonna have me with no hats. You ain't gonna have me with none of that shit on. But they better not say nothing about you. You do you, cuz. But when we in the house and we talking and it's just us, once you take off that wig and scrape off all that white ass bleaching makeup they put on your ass, and we just talking when your hair is in braids because you took that wig off and you looking crazy, and we drinking and talking, that was some bullshit you did. Now, how many books you got?
I will say this. I will say this. I am a fan of music, and if it's good, I will support it. And if it isn't, I will not support it. So far, I'm not a fan, but I will listen to it, just like I listened to Justin Timberlake's terrible album. That was absolutely horrible.
She definitely makes my backside itch too.
And we'll see. But so yeah, that's Beyonce. Moving on.
The queen has spoken.
Moving on to some good news, even though I don't like how long they make us wait. Black Mirror, one of the most popular and highly anticipated series on Netflix, it's set to come back with an all new season, but
oh shit!
Oh man, this guy.
Ahead, but talk to him.
We gotta wait until 2025.
There you go.
I don't know what you did.
What in the hell? Keep talking.
Give me
it's
the
on. It's on. Why do we have to wait till 2025?
Because that's just how Black Mirror is.
A word?
Yeah, that's just how Black Mirror is. Just like they made us wait forever for the last season.
Y'all making us wait that long for 6 episodes?
For 6 episodes.
6 episodes.
Yes.
Gonna be freaking good.
Yes. So that's the other thing. When it does premiere, we are only getting 6 episodes on top of that. But if you guys have never watched Black Mirror, it is definitely one of those shows that create conversation, because it essentially gives a warped experience of how our reality could ultimately end up. But really good TV show, really good storytelling, and a lot of the instances do come from various stories globally. So I'm excited to see what they come with, because last season,
I am too. It's like a modern day Twilight Zone.
It is. If
you like the Twilight Zone, it's something to watch.
Absolutely. So, but unfortunately, we got to wait until 2025 for that one.
That's crazy.
Whenever we get a date, we will let you know. But what we do have a date for is one of the most highly anticipated documentaries that is set to air this year, which is Freaknik. Freaknik is set to air on Hulu March 21st, and people are excited and also worried. So we actually have a clip of Uncle Luke. He was sitting down with Tamron Hall, just kind of giving some insight on what to expect, and that, some people might be a little afraid of what they're going to see on this documentary. Here we go.
I need to know, should people be afraid of this documentary on Freaknik?
Yes, people should, if you didn't know who your daddy was and your mama went to Freaknik, then you might see your daddy in there.
So you're taking joy in
Of course.
This woman said she turned her life over to Christ.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. We're going to show why she turned her life over to Christ.
All right. So are you excited to see Freaknik the documentary?
No.
Really?
No.
Why not?
Certain things I don't need to. So, like, some of the best times of your life were never recorded. And I think for those who were there and those who had the opportunity to experience it, just let that go. Because there are things that other people may end up getting judged for, jammed up for. And it's like, that was a time and an era in life.
Mm-hmm.
And we know how social media is, and we know how things are. And with people bringing up things and having video of things, and, you know, I think some things are just better left in the imagination land, where there may be some pictures that you come across on social media or something, but to create a whole documentary for it and showing footage, I think they should have left that alone.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm on the opposite side of it, because I'm like, it's a part of history. It is what it is. You know,
because she on the damn
I know that's right. Look, she ain't got no problem with it. You did what you did. You were young. We've all done stupid things, just like, you know, there's footage of MTV Spring Break where people were out here doing crazy things, or when they tried to do Woodstock in the 90s, and that was an entire clusterfuck. But it's a part of history, so let's talk about it. And you showing and shaking your ass and doing things doesn't put you in a category to where it's like, oh, we can't show it. No, let's talk about it, because Freaknik is a part of Black culture. So let's see what's in store. I'm excited for it. I am.
I mean, I won't watch it, but I'm not against it. I just don't. I am an advocate of some things should just stay where they're at, and I believe that story should be one, because the people who were there enjoyed that time. We weren't there, and unfortunately, we missed it. But to come back, it also depends on what type of light they shine on it.
Well, see, that's what I'm thinking, where there's a whole story behind it of just like why they felt the need to create it, and how it just spearheaded into what it was in the latter portion of it. So I'm always a sucker for a story. I want to know how they decided to sit down and say, okay, let's put this together and, you know, make this a really, really dope thing. I mean, because people obviously enjoyed it. People kept coming back. And, you know, to the point, you know, where, you know, EJ saying actually Freaknik isn't as bad as they make it at all. Like, I think just because it was a bunch of Black people, it's like, oh, this was terrible. There's been a lot of instances where there's been a lot of festivals where some crazy, 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 crazy stuff has gone down.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Rock with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna, like I said, I don't think I'll intentionally watch it. It may be something that I'll catch if I'm bored, but I'm not anticipating it like, ooh, let me watch this.
Oh, I am. I can't wait. I love a good documentary, and I will definitely be sitting at my TV waiting for it.
That's what's up.
And we'll talk about it here. And also, Enid, let people know you were actually there. So watch the documentary and then report back to us and let us know, like, well, they missed this, or they should have added that, or, you know, was it pretty accurate? I would love to hear, because there are people who have gone where I'm like, I want to know your experience. Let us know.
I sure hope people don't bring no crazy shit up.
You acting like you got something now.
No, because here's the thing. Here's the thing now. Because yes, there was a lot of celebratory things that had happened, and it was a cultural movement. But there are people who have stories from Freaknik that ain't.
Oh, absolutely.
And so when we got that, we just watched a video of a young man talk about his experience that was back in the early 90s. So then now, if we end up with a story in there that would be like, and then now this person says, no, that ain't what happened. See, Boudreaux was raping people. And then now on social media, Boudreaux's ass is a preacher somewhere working. Then now Boudreaux is all, you know? So it's like, that's where I'm like, man, because we don't enjoy the documentary and then let it die. It'd be like, and then now we're going to have a follow-up to the documentary.
I'm researching till
and that's where Boudreaux's ass going to get locked up.
Well, Boudreaux, you should have been out here raping people.
Oh, okay. I was about to say.
Yes, Jason, do you remember what you had on? Yes, this is about to be a whole entire episode about Freaknik. We want to know, girl. We want to know about your experience. But like I said, the documentary is set to air March 21st on Hulu. Check it out. We'll be here. Let's talk about it.
Boudreaux,
and
tell your job now.
We're going to have to get a firsthand experience from Enid, because, girl, we want to know. And that is your entertainment news.
Okay, cool. So how much time is it?
Well, it's 6:52,
Okay.
and we have our guest at 7:30. So we also have the messy letter, and then we have your rant.
Do the messy letter, because then the rant will keep me in control, because Lena's at 7.
Okay.
I can't go too far.
Okay, well, wait, hold on. I got to find the letter. So this letter actually was sent to us from our good supporter and our family, Jazz. And the letter goes like this. For our messy letter. I want my fiance to get rid of his 5-year-old daughter, in all caps. Please keep me anonymous.
Amen. I already like it. Let's go.
Please keep me anonymous. I need some advice from your followers. My 32-year-old fiance has a 5-year-old daughter.
Okay.
Her mother passed away when she was giving birth to her. He has been raising her ever since he lost his wife, with the help of his family, of course. I am now in the picture, and we're going to get married this year. And I am 6 months pregnant with his son. I'm not the stepmother type, so I know I won't treat his daughter the same way I will treat our son. To be quite honest, she annoys me. She looks exactly like her mother, so she constantly reminds my fiance of his dead wife. And she is very attached to her daddy, which makes me afraid that my son will not be able to bond with the father because of her. Basically, I want to tell my fiance to get rid of her. She can live with her grandparents, or we can find her a nice couple that wants to adopt a child. I don't know how to approach the situation, but I need to find a way to convince my fiance to get rid of her. Note, I'm not a bad person. I'm just trying to look out for my son and make sure that he will get all his father's attention that he deserves. Please help. Messy letter.
How did this man get involved with this woman? So now you better find a way to make this woman happy, because you'll be paying all the child support down the road. Like, nah, come on, man. If and you know what though? Here's what I'm gonna say. Like, hold on, what's that say?
So you still like the letter?
Here's what I'm gonna say. Like, damn, I'm so she's so wild that it's like it catches my tongue. So she put on paper though what a lot of people feel, because I have seen people mistreat stepchildren once they've had their child come into the mixed family. I've seen it.
Cue the whole evil stepmother.
Yes, I've seen that. So all she did was literally verbalize some things that a lot of people don't necessarily even say. So once again, I commend you for being honest. Here's where I have a problem. Tell him that, and then let's roll the dice.
Ooh.
Tell him.
Ooh.
Tell him. Now don't get just like I tell the students in my class, don't get big and bad with me. Get big and bad with the person who you have problems with. Now you wrote that letter with big nipple energy. That's big areola, I'm pregnant nipple energy.
What?
That's what that is.
Yes,
you led that with
nipple.
You led that conversation with
she
breast.
Said, get rid of this kid.
You led that with what was the chick from the movie with Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Rasputia?
Yeah, it was big Rasputia, big titty energy that you just dropped right there. So I'm sorry.
It says when you have to say I'm not a bad person though. Yeah.
The moment you start that, you're terrible. Because what you're putting your feelings first. This is all about you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Son's not even born yet.
Yeah.
So that already tells me how messy you're fitting to be already before we even get started.
And you're being ugly. You don't know. You very well. This child ain't even here yet. So anything can happen for you being this ugly. No.
Yeah, like, see, that's terrible. Like that's terrible. I had to blow it up, y'all. That's what it took me a second. Because I couldn't read the small font.
I'm glad you did, because I'm like, nigga.
Oh, word. Well, we got people on that over there.
Oh, you know.
Oh, so yeah. Read it.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, my granddaughter is going.
Read it. Like, what are we talking about? We have a whole monitor here, y'all. I'm like, I blew it up.
See, my granddaughter is going through this BS with her mom's new man, and I don't like it. Like you said, now if she tells this to her man,
yeah,
how is that conversation going to be?
Yeah, don't write it in a letter. Don't do that. Sit down and take the well-written letter that you put out and tell him that, and then let's see what role model let's see what role model your son's gonna have, because I guarantee he leaves. Now you'll be co-parenting, and then you'll lose that battle. You're not gonna win that battle. That man's he's not gonna sacrifice the established relationship with his daughter for your son who's not born yet.
And see, this is my question. When did you get with him? Because the daughter had to already have been here. So if that was a problem, why did you even bother getting with him in the first place? Why not just find a man that doesn't have a child? So then you don't feel like your petty ass and immature ass isn't competing with a 5-year-old whose mother passed away. How much of a dick are you?
It's bad. This whole letter is bad. She's showing a lot of terrible qualities of a mother, because if moms are moms, right? Like you here, you can hit that. Oh, I'll hit it. You got to read it.
Okay. Can you make it bigger, please?
Yeah.
Okay. But as our grandma said before, you better hope a whale swallows you and poops you at the bottom of the sea, because you don't want to see me. Ooh, I know that's right. Hello. Damn, bitter and spiteful spirit upon thee. They ain't gonna make it with that big nipple energy.
Big nipple energy. That's big. That's big areola energy, and you can't make that. And so as a guy, he's stuck in between the rock and the hard place, and now you're gonna make me choose my kids and you. Now, if he's about his business, this is an easy choice. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna take myself to court. We're gonna go ahead and get custody. I'm gonna just raise my 2 children without you. I made a mistake. Do it now. Do it now. Because she's not gonna change, and your child will resent you later because she will feel the mistreatment from the other parent. Absolutely. So that's not something that you need to experiment with. She told you her feelings. We're gonna just go ahead on and just handle it straight up. And we're gonna go ahead and co-parent and switch. So as a man, if I find that situation out and I know that is your intent already, we ain't even gonna play the well, let's just test it out and see. Nope. I'm gonna go, if we live together, let's go ahead and get separate places, and let's go ahead and start when this baby's born, day 1. I'm gonna go ahead and get my custody and all that stuff, and then we're gonna just go ahead and talk about that in court, because that level of ugly cannot be changed. Because that's everything she said there is her choice or her selfishness from her lens. You are not going to be able to switch her mindset. You're not going to be able to change it. There's no force besides the Lord himself that can change that woman. And the only thing that's going to even cause her to reflect upon what she said is for him to calmly go, okay, you're entitled to that. I'm leaving. Or you leave. One of the two. Somebody got to go. And then immediately upon that child being born, you say, we need to go to court. Let's go ahead and get custody drawn up and handle everything like business. From this point forward, you can no longer have any emotional ties to this person, because she has shown you who she is. And if you will mistreat a child, I always say this, period, you have to be a special type of asshole to mistreat a child. I don't care if it's your child or not. To mistreat a child, the innocence of a child, you are a special asshole. Absolutely. So I also have to watch you amongst my son, because you may be one of the ones that get into the mindset of, if I can't have you, then nobody can. And then now we got this whole weird setup, because in your mind, you think it's just supposed to be me and you, and I got a whole kid here. So I don't know what warped shit is in your head. And so instead of arguing, because that's only gonna make it worse, we're gonna go ahead and get this shit handled ASAP, straight down the line. And then you go your way, I go mine. And then, sir, no, for the next 18 years, she has now you are now, for not vetting the mother that you got, sir, for the next 18 years, your ass is grass. Because she going to make your life hell.
Yes. And I hope that this conversation is had prior to them getting married, because she said that they're set to get married this year. So they're not married yet.
Oh, that's off. That's off. Married.
But that's only if he knows what's going on.
That sounds like an old black man. Married. I wish the hell she would. Married.
And we have, what's sad is she's talking about a child like she's just an item. How do you think her son will feel if he's a decent person when he grows up and finds out the truth about how you feel about his sister? Absolutely.
Terrible.
Absolutely.
Terrible.
Absolutely.
These things are terrible. This is all wrong. This person needs to, unfortunately, the child is here, but this person is not a person who's ready for that style of living. And to have a guy who has a child already, and you knew that, then you should have been a lot more careful in reference to procreating and having your own child if you couldn't accept his, because that's not going to change. And it's even worse that this man is a full-time father. There ain't no visitation because mother is not gone. The mother has passed. Like, the mother is dead.
Right.
So this man is a full-time father, and this child, you don't even get the break of the child taking vacation and moving. This child is here every single day, just like him. And you talking about giving his child away?
To the grandparents or to a nice couple.
Man.
This man is already experiencing grief, because there's no telling when, the wife or...
Did it say how old the child was?
5.
A special type of asshole, because this baby is 5. Because, now what I will say is, now when we get into the teenage realm, I get it. I'm not even going to say I don't. Because what we're going to start doing on TDS radio is calling spades. Sometimes you want to wish teenagers away to far, far away places. I get that. But this is a 5-year-old child.
5-year-old.
Now, we talk about anything 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Definitely 15 and up. I get it. I deal with them every day. But 5? Nah, I can't rock with you. I can't rock with you. Now, teenagers get the hell on everybody's nerves.
And how she wrote this letter, I truly believe that she's one of those women that think, like, well, once I get pregnant by you, then my child is the only child that matters.
Yeah, she has the boy.
Yeah.
Not going to say anything more than that because I have personal experience. But sometimes there's people who want to leverage the boy.
Yes.
And it's like, I got the boy. So then now kick the girl.
Right.
That's his children. And no matter what, it doesn't make a difference. They're brother and sister. And the one, wow. I was going to say this, and it's not nice. It's not nice. And I feel Corey Holcomish when I say this. But at least you ain't dealing with the other woman. It's the child. Now, I can see if it was, the whole, because sometimes people feel, but it's just the child. That's easy. That's easy money. Like, I mean.
Sad thing is,
I mean, am I wrong?
I see where you're coming from.
People may think I was rude with that comment, but I promise you, like,
you don't have any additional stressors outside of just
the baby.
Yeah, and then him possibly grieving, because, like I said, we don't know when the mother passed away. And of course, she is going to have a special close bond with her father. That's all she has. Absolutely.
And I'm telling y'all, the bond between dads and daughters is different. But no different than the bonds between mothers and their sons. Oh, okay.
I just pray homegirl seeks help because she obviously needs it because children didn't ask to be here. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And yeah. And I mean, like I said, let's look on the positive side. The positive side is there is a healthy child involved. Let's look at the negative side. God don't like ugly, and your child ain't here yet.
Nope, not here yet.
And so anything can happen amongst your pregnancy. And to not treat this situation that you are in as the blessing that it is could result in you not continuing to be blessed in this situation.
or having a child with special needs. That's going to demand a lot of your time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she did that during childbirth. Yes. So that in itself is traumatic.
Yeah.
On all levels, you know.
Yeah. You're only here because your mom had to go. That's tough. That is tough. Like your mom passed, so she gave her life for you. That is tough.
People wonder why I don't want to have kids.
Yeah, that childbirthing thing is different. It's a whole different scene. It's a different scene.
I'm perfectly okay with being a stepmom.
Well, don't jump off a roof.
I mean, look, I'm at the age now where somebody's gonna come with a kid. It's gonna be very hard to find one without.
True. The only reason why I said that is because it's just situations like this. Now imagine he breaks up with her and that's the stepmom.
Ooh, Jesus.
See what I'm saying? Like you just got to be careful of, the it is. I think this is top at least top 2, 3 cuz the lady who left the nigga he was still talking about should I go back was crazy. And then that was nuts. But
the STD guy?
No, the one that was moved away and was living with the next dude, and then he talking about, well, should I go back? She's living with another man. Like, what are we talking about, bro? She's been gone for 6 months. But this one is top.
Shout out to Jasmine. Thank you, bro.
Thanks. Where'd you get this from? Do you know these people? Whoa.
But like you said, dealing with.
Imagine dealing with her as a baby mother on the other side of the table. You know what I'm saying? Because she's going to feel like everything that ain't for her son, or you're neglecting her son, or she would be the type of person that would do things and exclude your child. You know what I'm saying? Like birthdays, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. See, there's a lot of pettiness in this girl, and people need to be careful of who they procreate with. Yes. And she sounds young. Hopefully, we can charge it to her ignorance of being young.
No, you're just a terrible person.
Yeah, that's
you're a terrible person.
Yeah, that's
absolutely awful.
What does that say? Is that something new?
The one down the street, yes.
Oh, you know her? You know these people?
No. When you talking about
I was going to say, oh shit. Get her on the show. Get her on the show. No. That's how we're gonna go viral. We gotta get I told you we gotta American fiction this thing. We gotta get people like that on the show and act like we're gonna help them and then dog them. And then let them get mad, and then we control the button to be like, and off. I'm trying to tell you, we gotta do it at least once. Find somebody that's gonna be on there. Yeah, and we act like we do all the time. Act like we understand, and then let the comments come in. Girl, yeah, I understand. And then once the letter's finished, or once that person's finished, you ain't shit. Let me tell you, and then go in on their ass. We will go viral. I promise. How much do you want it? I want it. I'm ready. Because people like this need to be told off in person.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
People like that, we need to, don't be anonymous. When you talk big, like, I hate people who talk big like that, but then hide.
Yeah.
Don't hide.
Yeah.
You talking big shit. Let's talk it.
You knew you were going to be dragged, because anyone who felt like that and really didn't genuinely think that they were saying anything wrong, you wouldn't have to say, oh, I'm not a bad person. Anyone who says, oh, but I'm not this, you are that. You are indeed that.
I would love for somebody to come up like that on this show. I would love it. And the reason why I would love it is because there are people who think like this, and they need to be told that that's not the way to be. Now, we're not going to change them.
No, absolutely not.
But we want views. I want views. And I keep forgetting my shades. When we start doing the messy letter, I'm going to wear my shades and then my beard, make sure everything is good. And then, because that's what's out here. I found another podcast with a dude with a beard and a bald head who's going in on random people for no reason. It's like, why are bald bearded men angry?
Right, and that is my kryptonite. Like, don't be like that. No, the fact that they want to be anonymous proves how they are. Absolutely.
Right.
You know you're wrong. You know you're wrong. You were wrong thinking this. You just wanted somebody, hopefully, to say, you know what, girl, I understand. No, we don't understand.
I don't get
Girl,
it.
Go to hell.
How did my man? What's his name? Durand,
Mhm.
Baron, the one that. What's his name?
Durand.
Yeah, go to hell with no layover.
Yeah.
Go straight to hell with no layover.
Because that's where you're going.
Go
anyway.
straight to hell.
For you to feel like this, and
no
I'm pretty sure
layover.
you're treating that girl a certain type of way.
She feels the energy right now.
Yeah, like you're looking at her a certain type of way, you're treating her a certain type of way, you're talking to her a certain type of way. So you're going to hell. It's gonna happen because no one should be mistreating any child like that. Like, come on.
What do you get out of it?
Right.
It's a child. Like I've always said that. I promise you. I've always said it takes a special type of asshole to do something wrong to a child. Like when you hear about children being abused, children being molested, children being murdered, what demonic forces inside of you to hurt something that is so innocent?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at children, especially that young, they look at you even if you don't vibe with them with a awe. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to converse with them and talk with them, and you like, I want her out of here for my son. Your son gonna give you the hell that you've given somebody else.
Oh, absolutely, and I look forward to it. I hope that your child is colic and just literally cries throughout the night and keeps you up.
I don't know about that.
I do. I hope he shits every single time and it comes out of his diaper onto his car seat and into your car. I hope that every time you go to pick him up, he projectile vomits right in your fucking face.
And you know that happens.
Yes. That's the type of child you deserve. I hope he is extremely difficult to you.
That's what I deserve?
Yes, because you're terrible. You are a terrible person. You're terrible. You deserve every single bad side effect that comes with pregnancy because that's the type of person that you are. You're horrible. Absolutely horrible. And I hope that little lovely young girl grows up to be something oh so amazing. And I hope she cusses you the fuck out if the father continues to stay with you, which I hope that he does.
Now he needs to make that choice right now. Right now. What does it say?
Keep going. Wait,
we got more?
I'll send y'all cousin in the Berg up there because he's just like that. Wait a minute. Hold on. Who's about to expose?
I'm sitting here like, who? Don't do that. Wait a minute.
Who are we about to expose? Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Whose business? We about to tell.
And why do I still have it up? I'm like, who?
Put it down. Nigga, put it down.
Who is that?
Yeah. Picks up card, reads, pass go, and goes straight to hell. Absolutely. And what a piss poor example of a mother. Yeah. Absolutely. Let alone a mother figure. Absolutely. Thank you, girl. Like, you deserve every bad thing.
Is there any way that you can get? I just sent the picture of my quick rant to TDS.
Oh.
Can we download it real quick? Because see, guys, I gotta ask y'all a question before our guest comes on, because I know she will be punctual. That's my homie. I got accused of being racist right now by the city of Pittsburgh. The city of Pittsburgh has accused the white city of Pittsburgh, the Steeler Nation, has accused me of being racist. And I need to know, do you guys think that what I said was racist? I don't necessarily think it was. That's Instagram.
Oh, keep on.
I don't necessarily think it was. My problem is, and I'm going to show you guys soon, my problem is Black joy, men celebrating other men. Oh, I can do it. Is men celebrating other Black men, is that a problem? Is that an issue? Because it appears that I have pissed off Steeler Nation. Here's what I posted, all right? I want y'all to see what I posted. Here's what I put up, all right? Here it is. I said, what? Oh, hold on. Here it goes. Here's what I said, guys. I said, not one, but two quarterbacks, Black quarterbacks signed the Pittsburgh PA. And not for a semi-pro team, but for the actual Pittsburgh Steelers. Along with a Black head coach, a Black GM, he is black, right? Because I think he might be, you know, I wasn't 100% sure. I said, Lord have mercy. Please don't end the world before we see it all together. My mom would be going crazy right now, swinging her terrible towel. Now, in the comment sections, if you would like, once again, just yes or no. Is that racist? Once again, not one but two black quarterbacks signed in Pittsburgh, PA. Not for a semi-pro team, but an actual Pittsburgh Steelers, along with a black head coach and a black GM. Lord have mercy. Please don't end the world before we see it all together. My mom would be going crazy right now, swinging her terrible towel. That's all I said.
I see nothing wrong here.
If you guys go to my Facebook page right now, we are 200 and something comments deep of people telling me, quote, why does color matter? Why does color matter?
And of course, the infamous, I don't see color.
I don't see color. You're the racist, sir, because I don't see color. Why did you make this about race? So for those who don't understand, let's give it a little bit of context. The Steelers had 3 quarterbacks, all of which sucked. 1, 2, 3. Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Two-Hand Small Pickett, and his hands were really small. Google it. Yeah, he looked crazy holding football. And then you had MAGA Mason Rudolph, who was a open Trump supporter. No one had a problem with him. As a matter of fact, Pittsburgh loved him. Thought maybe we should give him a chance. So the new guy, the general manager, got rid of all these guys. Gone. Because we weren't winning.
Right.
So we go get Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson happens to be black. Okay, now, not only did we get Russell Wilson, we got Russell Wilson for a steal. Here's why. Denver hated Russell Wilson so much that they got rid of him, but still are paying him $39 million. So we, as the Pittsburgh Steelers, only have to pay Russell Wilson for 1 year, $1.2 million. That's a steal. That's smart business on the Steelers side. We get a quarterback who might have a little talent left to him for $1.2 million. That's genius. That was one. Well, Chicago didn't want their young black quarterback, who has a similar style to a young Russell Wilson. All right. So the reason why most people feel like he wasn't successful is because he was thrown to the fire too soon. So he was asked to do things that it's like, well, maybe he needs some grooming. So our general manager picked up the young black guy. That's 2. So now you got Russell, who can help groom the young guy underneath. Steelers have never, ever had that situation at all. There's only been 3 record coaches of the Pittsburgh Steelers, coming from Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin. So now we have a black coach, 2 black quarterbacks, a black coach, and our GM is a minority. We are winning. Now, here's where the problem lies. This has not happened for the Steelers in the franchise history. Now, while we talk about Chuck Noll, the Steelers actually go back dated to 1933. So from 1933 until now, we've only had 1 black quarterback slated to be the starter, and that's Cordell Stewart.
Right.
In the 70s, we had a gentleman named Joe Gilliam who was better than Terry Bradshaw, who won the 4 Super Bowls, but he was a backup. And very few people gave him the credit of helping us win the Super Bowl. I forgot what number it was, but when Terry Bradshaw got hurt, he picked up the torch. There was no drop off. Actually, Terry Bradshaw admits openly he was a better quarterback, right? Then after him, then you got Joe Gilliam, then you got, Cordell Stewart / comes on the scene. And then there's a bunch of randoms like Charlie Batch, Michael Vick, Dennis Dixon. These guys were never supposed to be starters. Right. You know why they weren't supposed to be starters? Because we got this guy, Ben Roethlisberger. Right. Nobody was taking Ben's spot. I don't give a damn if Ben had 1 good toe on a half a foot. Ben was going to play football because we loved our Big Ben. All right. It's the reason why we're in this situation in the first place. So then I, as a black man, see Pittsburgh, one of the most, which literally, if you Google it, is labeled one of the most racist cities in the country.
And there's an article about the Great Black Migration, about the rapid number of black people moving from Pittsburgh due to lack of opportunities and racism.
One of the worst places to be if you're a black person. I don't give a damn what you say. The only thing that unites black people in Pittsburgh is the Steelers. Once the game is over, everybody goes to their side of the river and act like they don't know each other anymore. So the one thing I posted was, it was great to see the fact that we are going to finally have a starting black quarterback that's going to be black, and then his backup is going to be black. That is a great thing to see. Absolutely. On top of the fact that there's a black ass coach, that is a great thing to see.
What kind of face?
And never wipes his fucking nose. Like, so when it's cold, y'all, the things that I have been told that today have been crazy, and it's still going. Okay, like things like this. Okay, who cares what color it is? And Khan is not black. Khan is the GM. Okay. So once again, for you guys to not care, he's a minority. Yeah. Okay. So for you guys to not care about color, you sure know that this man ain't black. Hello. Right? So you're able to do that. So then let me read some of the other things that I've been told today. And if you, like I said, by any means, just go to my page. It's public. It's there. There's a whole bunch of these things on here. And I even had a black man. A black man said, let's drop the color thing, huh? And I told him, let's not. It's a big deal for two black quarterbacks to be in Pittsburgh, to be able to have this opportunity. Can I give y'all a little bit more information and knowledge? There's this thing that a lot of people don't even know about when it comes down to football. You have to pass this thing called the Wonderlic test. Have you ever heard of a Wonderlic test? Okay, so a Wonderlic test is this test that you must take to show your competency and how quickly you can process, because you only get 12 minutes to take this test. And with this test, they ask you 50 questions. It's like a miniature SAT. This year is the first year that they got rid of that test because they were judging black quarterbacks based upon the score of whether or not they could play the position from what they scored on that test. Now, here's what we know. Here's what we know just as a foundational base. Standardized testing ain't one of our strong suits. So now, historically, you have a test to make sure that these black men, because athletically, yeah, they can do what they do. But then now we're going to call these guys dumb because their scores aren't that great on the Wonderlic test, right? So, for example, I can give you some examples of like scores. Like Patrick Mahomes, they call him mentally average. Because, and meanwhile, he's just won 2 Super Bowls, a blackish quarterback. All right. And blackish. They love him because he's not Lamar Jackson. Now, if he go out there and get a Sierra and drop his white woman, it's over. There's a reason why Kelsey's with Taylor Swift. And it ain't got nothing to do. Because we need the ratings. You get what I'm saying? This is all scripted. You can't have big black women with white men on NFL. Now that's NBA. You can do that on the NBA. But in NFL, you can't do that. We were mad at the dude for taking a knee for the national anthem. You think they're going to let one of their star players who's white have a black woman? He was told to go get Taylor Swift. How you go from booty to this? Now, don't get me started.
Get back to the point.
The point is, all right, the Wonderlic test, right? Yeah. So let me pull it up. The Wonderlic test. Wonderlic test. Okay. So like it's 50 questions. Okay, you get 12 minutes to pick this, and the Wonderlic test is basically the contemporary cognitive ability test that assessed your measurement of cognitive ability and be able to problem solve. And it's like basically an aptitude test, right? So it projects these things. So let me give you some of the scores of people who have done it. And it's been labeled as racist. So Troy Vincent, who's a player representative for the NFL, this year finally has gotten that removed because it's racist. We are now judging you no longer based upon your athletic ability and what you've shown. Now, how smart are you? What? Based on a 50-question test.
And not realizing that we all learn and obtain information
differently. All right. So Patrick Mahomes scored 24 out of 50. Tom Brady scored a 33 out of 50. All right. So then now in their mind, mentally, Tom Brady's better than Patrick Mahomes. Mentally, because of this test. Not because of his ability, because of this test. So Michael Vick, 20 out of 50.
Okay. Well, you said Patrick at what, 25?
Well, they labeled Patrick as 24 as average, right? So let's see what Russell Wilson got. Russell, don't let me down. Russell Wilson's Wonderlic test, he was a 28. Okay. All right. So once again, now you see that these numbers are pretty much in the 20s. Pretty much that's the average. But it was dismissing a lot of African American players based upon that. So now we've taken all this and slid it to the side. Now we're basing it on your abilities, your film, all that stuff that's supposed to be. Pittsburgh then gets 2 black quarterbacks, and I'm not supposed to be happy with it. So as these people are commenting, I keep asking them, is it me expressing my pride for being black that's causing a problem with you? Because I didn't say anything against any other race. I just said and I didn't even say I was happy. I didn't say that in my post. I said my mom would be going crazy. I didn't say anything. And I'm being labeled a racist. Am I racist?
Absolutely not.
So what are we doing? What are we doing?
Whenever we, as Black people, celebrate any win, automatically we're being told that we shouldn't be doing that because it's racist, because why we shouldn't be looking at color. We're a people, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, because on the other side, they've never had to experience the disadvantages that we have, because you are living a life of privilege. You have the complexion for protection. We don't. So like you said, you have a bunch of quarterbacks where now we're being told that, oh, well, you're not smart enough.
Simply based on the test.
Simply based on the test. When you know that that's not a strong suit of a lot of people, especially people of color. But we can't celebrate the fact that, like, we got 2 black quarterbacks. We've never seen this before. And a general manager and a coach.
Who's a minority. And he's doing things that the other guys weren't doing. He's making it shake immediately. Like, it's not even like he's waiting. He's making it shake.
Well, he asked who he's going to get fired.
But when I tell, So then, like, somebody asked me, why make it a color thing? Why am I not allowed to celebrate blackness? And so what I'm going to do, because of me not being able to celebrate blackness, I'm always down for good pettiness. I will tag Steeler Nation every time I post something black, because I don't feel as though me being happy about 2 black quarterbacks is a problem.
It's not.
I don't think we should pull it's not about color, because if anybody has paid attention to my post, this is why I know it's about color. I've dragged Russell Wilson so far.
This post. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, because like the lady who talked about Russ, and she was like, oh, Russell Wilson gets hell because he's like the old school black man, and the old school black man treated his woman a certain way. And bop, 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 bop. And I'm laughing because I'm like, that's not why we call Russ corny. We call Russell corny because he does corny shit. That's it. Nobody hates Russ. That's why I wanted to change my narrative, because, social media wise, people are like, oh, you never liked him. Not true. Football wise, love him. As a person, phenomenal. As a dad, great. We just seen what step parents can be. Right. Step parent, phenomenal. Handles all the drama and issue from Future. We couldn't ask for a man of color to represent us, because all black people are carried by the measurement of one black person. So we can't ask for a better leader and a forefront person in the NFL. This is it. It don't get no better. But he's corny as hell. Okay? All right? Like, would I diss Russ? Nah. Would I hang with Russ even if he wasn't famous? Absolutely. But he would know you're corny, dude. So we act like we've never said this, and people are taking it personal. And it's not because of him, because when Russell was dating white women, nobody cared about who Russell was. No black woman cared about who Russell was when he had that horse-faced white woman. Go look at the picture of her when she was like that horse-faced white woman. No black woman was checking for Russ at that time. The moment he got with Cece and she was like, nah, we got to fix this. Yeah, because you got on loafers with the penny in them. We're not doing that. Yeah, he got the Superman curl. All that changed. Russell is corny, but he's black. Beyonce is pandering country music, but she's black, and I rock with her because she's black. That does not mean I hate Dolly Parton. That does not mean I hate Tom Brady, or it doesn't mean I hate the next white person. I just love us. I love black people. Right, wrong, or indifferent, I love us. Do we get on my black ass nerves? Absolutely. But guess what? That's all we got. Do I love the ignorance that we portray at times? No, I do not. And it makes me just as furious as the next person. But because I'm black, I also identify with the fact of why some people may act ignorant. I got into an argument about that. Opportunity at times present these ignorant behaviors. People are out here selling drugs, not because they're like, yeah, that's the dope thing to do. If they had other options and other opportunities that they were specifically shown, most of them would choose otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying people choose that for, specific reasons, but being in a predominantly white school now and seeing all the drugs in this predominantly white school, the drugs is a problem no matter color now. And the problem with us as black people, at times we have to get out of our comfort zone to go see other people are fucked up too. Y'all just don't talk about it. So for me to say I'm proud of us and I'm happy with us, what the hell is y'all problem? I'm not mad at Italians for Italian Day and doing the things that they do in Little Bloomfield, where they got a sign in Pittsburgh that says Bloomfield, Pittsburgh's Little Italy. Should I be mad about that? Why is that a race thing? Why? So black people can't live in Bloomfield in Pittsburgh? Is that, are we not wanted there? Or, I don't give a shit. Give me some Stromboli. You guys make great bakery goods from scratch. Yes. Bloomfield makes great bakery goods from scratch. So what are we talking? But am I supposed to be like, nah? That's what I'm saying. It's good pizza down there. And I'm not saying it to be racist. They make their shit from scratch. It ain't no oven to pull it out the freezer type shit. So I'm supposed to be like, why y'all making it about race? Black people can't make pizza too? You know what? No. We can't. Not like you. We watch people toss dough in the air with hairy forearms and don't question it.
I sure don't. And it'd be just as good.
We don't question it.
Not a damn.
That's a real, and I mean it. I have sat there and watched dudes with their knuckles get into some dough, flip it with hairy forearms, and just drop sauce on it. And hey, let me get extra pepperoni on that. Never question it. Am I lying?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. So what? And they take pride in their stuff. You know what I'm saying? This is some real do the right thing shit. Y'all got y'all people on the wall. I can't get happy because we finally got some people on the wall.
No. Okay. No, damn it. No. You cannot be proud of your black culture. It's not allowed.
I love black people. I don't have a problem with any people until they have a problem with me.
Right.
That's just being number one. But I love us. We are some entertaining folks.
Ain't we? And innovative.
We do a lot of crazy shit, but that's not dismissing the fact that there's other nationalities and races that do some crazy and cool shit too. I just love us. I just love the fact that we got 2 black coaches. How come white people are the only people who find a problem with what I'm saying? There's not, besides that one black person who's tripping, they tore his ass to shreds.
And should.
There's not one other black person that's like, yeah, bro, you tripping.
No.
Every black person is just heart. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. This is so great. Da 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 da. White people, why has it got to be about race?
Because once again,
oh, Bean's here.
Yes. How often are we in positions like this? Like you said, when you have 2 black quarterbacks, you have a general manager, you have a coach. It does not happen often, but because it's so easily accessible for y'all, then it's like, well, why are you celebrating? Why is it about color? Because it's not something that happens often for us, if at all. So allow us to be happy for our achievements because it comes so easily for you. Because like I said, you have privilege. We don't. That's why things like affirmative action exist or DEI programs.
We're trying to get rid of that.
Exactly. So stop making it seem like we can't be proud whenever we get a little, and I mean a tiny piece of the pie. And it's so
it's 32 teams. I'm celebrating one. And they're like, is you crazy? What you mean you got see, that's what happens when we let one in. It's 32 fucking teams.
And I'm so tired of people saying that they don't see color. The next person that says that they don't see color, I swear to God, I'm going to slap you with every single ring on my finger.
The moment you say you don't see color, you don't see me. Everything. You don't see me because while it's not a lot, I have color. Lord, I need the sun because my underarm looks like white people. I know. But and now that's my fiance. Y'all might be like, he's a hypocrite. He got a white woman. It's like, I swear to God, she's not.
No, see, too far.
Swear to God, no. I'm like, yes, she is. Your kid looks biracial. No.
But
she's not.
To your point. Yes, come on, Ina. She said I gotta troll your post because I got time today. Absolutely. Honestly, Coach, those that know you know where you stand and the opinions really don't matter. And they don't. And like Jay saying, you ain't even got to explain yourself for sensitive people. You don't.
Yeah, I promise y'all, man. I don't care about, especially when it comes down to football. I am not a person to make it about race. I'm not. But in certain areas of the game, black people have been mistreated. Mm-hmm. Quarterback is one of them because they do not feel, people still feel in their hearts that black people cannot lead a team successfully. Mm-hmm. The reason why, and we'll go to our guest. The reason why I feel the way I feel about Patrick Mahomes is because when Patrick Mahomes plays against Lamar Jackson for Baltimore is dark skinned. He got braids. He's not one for big interviews and big talking and all that stuff like that. But as far as his play on the field, it's phenomenal. Then you got Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the exact opposite of Lamar Jackson. But when you can feel the energy from the commentating of which one they support more.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, people will say, but he's won MVP. Right, because he's had to be 10 times better than everybody else to the point where you can't deny the fact he is the most valuable player. Mm-hmm. If it was remotely close with him and Mahomes, they would give it to Mahomes 10 times out of 10. But you cannot negate the fact that Lamar Jackson, when he steps out on that field, he may not have all the other help that Patrick Mahomes has as far as players, teammates. But when he steps out on that field, there is, without a shadow of a doubt, he is the best player on that field. Mm-hmm. But he don't necessarily get treated like that. And it's just enough to where it's subtle enough to where, hey, why y'all treating Lamar like that? We're not. See, he's the MVP. But y'all how come he got all the endorsements? State Farm and all that other shit. Lamar ain't got those endorsements. And this dude had these endorsements before he became who he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Why? And then you're making it about race. Man, I hate y'all, man.
So with that said, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yes. With that being said, so go on the post and check it out. speaking of race, I got a sister coming in who is an athletic counselor for Cleveland State University. And she and I have talked about, this role that she's in for quite some time, because the mental health of athletes from dealing with shit like this is real. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes they need assistance to carry this out, especially in high school and college, because the demand of them to be student and athlete and hold that weight can break them. And I'm not just talking about football, I'm talking about all sports, because at times we forget that these people are, while they look like gladiators in their sport, they're kids. They're kids. So Lena Harris, our guest today, has taken it upon herself to help counsel these kids. So we're going to bring Lena Harris in right now. Bean.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Why are you not coming through the right speakers, Bean? Y'all keep talking. I'll fix it.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know what's going on. Oh no, the whole show is coming through there.
Oh man.
Now talk to us, Bean.
Hi.
There we
you
go. Oh
Yeah.
man.
Oh man, y'all ain't telling us.
Sounded off in the distance. You didn't, but she did when she was talking.
Oh, for real?
That's how y'all let us go.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hold.
You sound like you do now.
Oh, for real?
He sounded in the distance.
Oh, hold on. Well, we got to make sure that this part is right.
Right. Our messy letter was top notch too, and y'all didn't have our audio right.
Letter.
Yeah, the messy letter was messed up.
It was terrible.
Hold on,
Yeah.
one second.
It was messy.
It was messy, girl.
Don't go anywhere
messy.
yet, though, Bean. Hold on, stay right there, guys.
And for those of you watching, let us know, how do we sound? Can y'all?
Yeah, I'm about to fix that right now. So here, to assure that our sound is on point, take a quick break. But Bean, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We want to make sure our sound is on point. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
That one.
Yep. All right. Hopefully our sound is better now. Hopefully we're back in the game.
Right? Because what the hell, man?
That was terrible. But
hi, B.
I was gonna say, but we're on it now. So let's get into it. So,
oh wait, she's muted.
You're muted. I think we need to get our shit together. There we go. Bean, what's up?
It's Bean.
Hi guys.
What's going on?
Another day.
Good. So tell us about the position, the title.
Congratulations.
How it's going. Congratulations a million times. Tell us about this.
So the NCAA decided every Division I college university has to have some sort of mental health programming, not necessarily a position, but some have chosen to do that. Some schools already have these positions. They've been rolling them out. But NCAA allocated money specifically to the Horizon League Conference, which is what Cleveland State is under. And then they disseminated money to every school to either hire somebody in this specific role or add additional programming specific to athletics from like the mental health standpoint. So my position is through the counseling center at Cleveland State, but I'm embedded in athletics. So the only people I see are student athletes. I don't see any of the other students that attend Cleveland State. So that's how the position came about, I guess for them. But for me, it's just been a matter of where is it? Because I knew once once Kevin Love made it popular that mental health was a thing, I'm like, all right, some kind of way I'm going to find my way back to athletics. So finally, here we are.
So talk to me about just the importance of it, because a lot of people downplay the fact that, oh, mental health, what is that about? So talk to me about what the importance of having someone in your position for athletes who are suffering from mental health crises.
Yeah. So ironically, tomorrow I'm doing a workshop for the student athletes on mental health and performance. So perfect timing. The two go together. Like you can't have one without the other. If one is out of whack, it's because the other one's out of whack. So really figuring out where the problem is. But for the student athletes, I'll say Cleveland State has a large population of international students, both regular students and student athletes. So to be from across the world and now attend college as a student athlete, we'll say, in Cleveland, Ohio, is very different than Australia, England, South America, Brazil, all these places that they come from. So that's the first thing. You're away from home, from your family, from what you know. Some of them, it may be a good thing, depending on where they come from, but you're still away from home. So that's the number one struggle. Number two, what's your major? A lot of them have like mechanical engineering, nursing, not your basic liberal arts. They are high achieving student athletes. Some are in the honors college. Like there's all these things that factor into just not just being a student and not just being an athlete. So the pressures from that, the pressures to perform depending on the sport, well, not depending on the sport, but for any sport, but some are more high performing than others because it may be an individual based sport, but you're on a team. So tennis, golf, we have a fencing team. The irony in this is that there's no football team. That's my number one. How in the world did I end up somewhere with no football? But
right.
It's fine. It all translates. Men's and women's basketball are currently, well, the women's team will be leaving tomorrow. They're playing in the WBIT tournament. They're playing Toledo Thursday night. The men are playing in the CBI down in Daytona. They're leaving, I think, Friday. So you have these high performing student athletes that have to figure out how to maintain. Some of them can to a point. Some of them get injured and don't know how to manage that because they never factored that in.
Right.
So just, in having these conversations with them individually as teams, talking to the training staff, talking to the coaches, former Division I student athlete myself, I know kind of what they take on, but for some of them, okay.
So is this something that you feel, Lena, that parents should start early? Meaning, like by the time they get to you, should they be aware of emotions in this sport? Like, because high school, it's not talked about at all.
No,
it's not talked about. Like, so should they be aware that, look, you need to go find your counselor, your athletic counselor at Cleveland State, like the moment you get on campus?
So with this being a new role, they knew it was coming. They told the student athletes, this is coming, because the planning started last summer. It just took a while because of logistics. The AD actually took another job right as the first semester ended. So that kind of threw him for a loop a little bit, but they knew that somebody was coming. Now, Cleveland State has a partnership with Cleveland Clinic. So it wasn't like they had nobody, but it's limited in that because, they can only have so many hours that they see student athletes. So for me, that's all I do. So I have availability to see, 3 to 4 student athletes a day, depending on what's going on. But to that point, I've had parents reach out via email through the private practice that I still work at part-time. Like, hey, I have, my son plays football and he's experiencing anxiety. And I'm just like, well, for starters, I don't see any kids right now. I understand that they're athletes, but I can't take that on right now. So parents get it now. They're starting to reach out. I had somebody who reached out from the Dayton area and said I came recommended. How I came recommended, I don't know. But I'll take that check.
Absolutely. Right. Yes, ma'am.
Like, oh, I'm recommended. Okay.
Right.
But performance anxiety. And it's you get to a certain point where you can't get over the hump.
Right.
And everything that I've tried before is not working. So what do we do? But parents are starting to get it. They're starting to see it. I think this generation of kids now feel their feelings a lot more than we did as kids.
Boy, do that.
Or verbalize, I'll say, not feel. They verbalize their feelings a lot more. So they're advocating for themselves like, hey, I need help. I can't figure out what's going on. I'm good in practice. And then when I get to the actual playing field, I freeze up. I start crying. I can't breathe. I can, what's going on? So parents are helping their kids or trying to help their kids, like, hey, I'm reaching out. My kid needs help. Can you help them?
Yeah.
And with this position, you might have some kids who are willing to come and talk to you and spill their heart out. But what about those kids where you're trying to get to them, but they're just having a hard time with trust? How do you bridge that gap of where it's like, okay, this is a safe space. You can talk to me.
So I've been intentional about that. Number one, being the new kid in town,
right,
so to speak. But just showing up at practices. So in my interview process, when I came on campus for my interview, I met with the athletic training staff, sports performance, and academics together as one group. I met with some head coaches, and then I met with, I forget the third group. So I kind of pre-established relationships with some of the trainers. Trainers see the student athletes the most. So we have built relationships to where they're walking the student athletes to me. I had one today, walked her to me and said, look, and I know she's good. So I'm going to leave you with her. And, I'll be back or come see me after you talk to her. So I'm trying to be intentional about getting in front of the teams as a whole, dropping in on practice. Like, hey guys, I'm here. Here's my office hours. This is where I'm located. You can come to me individually. I can do stuff for the team, whatever you want it to look like. But just know that you don't have to do this by yourself.
Right.
Or if your teammate is struggling, but they're not up to coming, bring them. Or you come first and then go back and say, hey, I talked to her and, you can go see her. So there's a lot of advocacy, I would say, from the coaches, from the training staff that understand the importance. Awesome. And they know because they get to a point where it's like, as a coach, I can't counsel you anymore.
Right.
Like, there's somebody that's the professional in this needs to step in and you need to talk to them because I got, 8 other student athletes or 15, or our lacrosse team, I think, has 60. So I can't just, sacrifice the one for the whole.
Right.
So I would say the coaching staff, the athletic training staff, they are amazing because they're like, hey, I'm sending you this email about so-and-so. Hopefully they come see you. Training staff. Oh, and so-and-so's struggling with this. And I'm like, send them my way. Like, I'm here.
How many others are like you, Bean? Because I'm accused of being a racist. So I don't know if I should say how many other Black people, especially women, are doing this like you, Bean. I mean, is that
you mean there or in general?
Well, have you come across in general? Have you come across other Black women doing what you're doing? And how many are we represented well in this? How many of us are there?
So what I will say is that my connections on LinkedIn that I would say only one I've met in person, and we met in person first, then became connections, but they're everywhere. I interviewed for a job at Michigan, same position, but was just, transparent with the woman and told her like, I'm really not in a place to move right now, but this is my dream job. And that was probably before I had the interview for this job.
Okay.
And saw that one of my connections on LinkedIn, a Black woman, got the position. So she moved from, I think, Virginia to Michigan to fill that role. So we're everywhere.
Good.
We're everywhere. And it, from the being a counselor to a licensed social worker to working in sports performance, sports psychology, like we're everywhere. We're popping up. It's a beautiful thing to see.
What is most thing that you are seeing? Like you said, performance anxiety. But after that, what are you seeing these athletes kind of deal with after performance anxiety?
Depression, a lot of depression, trauma. And a lot of that comes from the international students and just kind of what they've dealt with in their home countries. So it's probably a good thing that they're where they are, but trauma, depression, and then just, general anxiety are the big ones.
Gotcha.
And you actually have a question. So now, do you work this position alone? And if so, how do you manage all of the students?
I am the only one. And I just, as they come, I handle them as they come. What I've noticed is that after going to a practice, I've kind of gotten emails or students popping in like, hey, so you were at my practice and come on in. Or, like I said, trainers have hand walked students, coaches hand walked. Or coaches have, told me on one end and then kept telling the student athlete, you need to go see her. You need to go see her. You need to go see her. Then they get there and they're like, my coach said I needed to come see you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So just, as they come, we have close to 400 student athletes.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
So with all of that, and even you, with your journey and grief, how are you taking time for yourself? Because that's a lot of emotions to deal with.
Oh, it's a lot.
Your
own. So I would say right now that it's keeping me level because I'm busy.
Okay.
When I'm just sitting and have nothing to do is when, I'm thinking and all kind of stuff. But I know where this came from. Firm believer my mother sent this to me because she knew what I wanted to do. She was a big advocate for, okay, you need to come back here. As soon as I moved to Columbus, you need to come back here because Kevin Love said he's depressed and you need to, I'm not coming to, no. But I'm a firm believer that this because it really came out of nowhere. And then the process in it, because I applied for it, had an interview, never heard anything, got an email that they canceled the position, which they really took the posting down and essentially like revised it, reposted it. They reached out to me and said, if you want to apply, we reposted it. All right. Had an interview, didn't hear anything, sent an email, then they brought me on campus. One person said they had somebody from out of town. Somebody else was talking to me like it was mine. And I had to just pull back like, don't get yourself excited because you don't know what's going on.
Right.
Had to keep reaching out like, hey, what's going on? And that was when the AD was leaving. They called to offer me the position. And I thought she was going to say thanks, but no thanks. And when I said that to her, she was like, what? No, like we want you. And I'm like, oh, you do? Can I come tomorrow? And she was like, well, wait a minute. Hold on. We got, HR to get through. So, but I wholeheartedly believe that she sent it to me.
So one thing that you had mentioned when we did the First and Goal podcast some time ago, and I think it's important to revisit it because we kind of glanced on it, but then we got in and then we got out. When you had talked about players who cannot play experiencing grief because they're not playing, then players who get injured who experience grief because they're not playing. Can we talk about that a little bit? Because that's important to kind of go over, especially now because players are getting hurt. That pressure from transfer portal kids coming and going, and it's a lot of pressure to be on the field and playing. So Can you just talk about that and then ways that they can possibly work through it? I know you can't give specific advice, but just some ways that they can kind of work through it.
So I will say that there are, I forget how many there are now, but there were, I'll say, a handful of student athletes that tore their ACLs within weeks of each other. And because there were so many and they were rehabbing together, they kind of formed their own little group of whatever they called themselves. I don't even remember. But some of them were progressing a lot faster just because of natural, whatever their natural makeup was. Faster, progressing faster, rehabbing better, gets back on the field. Teammate, they were kind of neck and neck, and then, you know, one got back on the field. Teammate is still not back on the field, so struggling. But I think it's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves. We already put pressure on ourselves to perform. Now we've got this thing happening that we never thought would happen before, or maybe we did, I don't know. But this injury, that's a major injury. It's not like, you know, a sprained ankle or, you know, your finger. You tore your ACL. So you have to have surgery. You have to have rehab. You have to be off of it, you know, depending on if you just tore that or tore total tear, MCL, ACL, whatever it is. But a lot of them just kind of feel like they can handle it. No. Why do you want to handle it by yourself?
Right.
That's always my first question is, but why do you want to?
Right.
You don't have to.
Right.
Why do you want to? You're not the only person that this has ever happened to, and you're not going to be the last. So trying to help them understand that this is essentially a part of whatever your plan is. So your mental capacity has to outweigh that at some point. Now, that can take a while or maybe not. It just depends on, you know, that person, how much they're able to accept, like, okay, this happened. This is what I need to do to get back in it. It's, you're really kind of like relearning yourself.
Yeah.
In that capacity.
Yeah. And see, that's the reason why I was asking, because I see it with players that you see that some players never rebound. Like they get into that slump, and then even when they heal, they're not the same player.
Right.
But then, like you said, how many of them even talked to somebody while they were going through it to be able to mentally get over that hump? And so when you're speaking to the trainers, I'm like, I know the trainers are happy because you see players suffer from depression when they get hurt. And now they don't want to be around. They start to disconnect.
Yep. A lot of self-isolation.
Yeah. And so that's why I was like, just having you speak to that, because a lot of parents don't know, you know what I mean? And then when they find out, they're contacting you like, what is this about?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and then also, so with this position, like you're setting up curriculums, or where you're having like, or I'm sorry, not setting up curriculums. I guess that's my question. Do you set up things for the players to come in so that they can get more comfortable? Like you said, you mentioned something that you're doing for a team where you have a presentation. Is this something that, like, here's my question. I'm trying to get to it. I think I want to ask it like this.
Get it out.
Yeah, I don't know why it's taking so long. What I'm saying is, like,
don't be nervous. It's just me.
Do you have the ability to create this whole department yourself? Was there any type of expectations when they gave you the job, or did they give you a clean slate to say, knock this out the park, this is your thing?
So because they never had it before, they don't know what it looks like. So essentially I'm creating whatever we're doing, I'm creating. But there's three essential, I guess, bullet points, aspects, whatever you want to call them, duties maybe, that are the three main things that I do. And that's individual counseling with the student athletes, consult with the coaches and teams, and then outreach and education within, you know, the student athletes in the community. So to that, I obviously see the student athletes individually, have been seeing them. My first day to be able to see them was February 5th. I want to say, whatever that first Monday was.
Okay.
I had somebody scheduled because they were like, hey, we've been waiting on you. Like, when can we get the books?
Right.
So my caseload is building rapidly, I would say. The consult with teams, coaches and teams, you know, having individual meetings with coaches to say, hey, what's the team chemistry like? What do you need from me? What do you envision, my role in conjunction with your team?
Mm-hmm.
So getting a lot of feedback from them. Like I said, being with the teams. I think I have a team meeting on Friday. Tomorrow is a workshop that's open to all the student athletes. I have no idea how many are coming because they won't RSVP, but that, whatever.
College students.
So I can prepare, but it's open to all the student athletes. And then outreach and education. So in April, we have a softball game and a men's lacrosse, that we're doing mental health resources. They're giving out T-shirts. We'll have a table with resources from the counseling center, just to provide that education. It's kind of something that's been happening for the last 2 or 3 years at the men's lacrosse game anyway.
Okay.
So this will be my first year doing it. So the person from the counseling center who has been doing it, I'm going to let him take the lead and I'll just kind of see what he does. But parents get it. They understand. So this is something that one of the parents asked for. So we're just trying to keep it going. But those are the 3 main things that I'm doing. And then the NCAA just came out with their mental health best practices, the new revised set, whatever you want to call them. So then we'll be making sure that what we're doing aligns with that to stay in compliance. So
do you get the ability to work like workshops, maybe I know you can't specifically give counsel advice to people like high schoolers, but would they let you be like a representative outside of Cleveland State to discuss this, or it's not something that they've even thought of yet?
So I've been doing that before I got hired in this position. We'll continue to do that. If there's something where I can represent Cleveland State in that, I most definitely will. But just me being a clinical athlete advocate and working in a private practice, and this just being a passion, like I'm not going to just sit over in the corner and watch somebody. Like I could be telling you what you need right now, but
I can't do that.
right. But I also, to that, I also volunteer, which happened before I got this job, volunteer with an organization called Play Gap, which is a community-based organization out of Northeast Ohio that centers around community sport, predominantly for women, but some of the teams are co-ed, which in January, right after I got the job, I want to say right before, became a board member of. So volunteer with them all the time. I'm always somewhere with somebody. So it's just who I am. So
they ain't gonna stop the show.
Nah. We're not gonna stop. We're gonna take the show all over, on the road.
I'm saying, like, because high schools in Cleveland, would you be able to like reach out and have workshops for their high school students? Because the earlier the better for awareness for mental health. Like I promise you, these young people, as you know, they go through it with sports, and especially the ones who are true student athletes, where like they may be carrying honors classes, and then now like the one lady we seen from the soccer team who could not make a penalty kick,
Brianna.
So for whatever reason, she plays for our professional soccer team here in North Carolina, but she has had a problem since college with penalty kicks. Like she just could not do it. So whenever it came down to
performance anxiety.
Yeah, she had extreme performance anxiety, and it just kept building and building. So she was able to get out of college without really addressing it, but then it came back up and surfaced again when she was a pro. And like she was speaking at one of our events, and she literally just broke down while talking about it now as an adult. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where the sooner we can get our mind around the fact that athletics is tough and you carry more than what you think. You know what I mean? But we're taught to be gladiators and just keep pushing, but eventually, like you said, it pushes back.
And it's that, I think that's why I have such a passion for students. I mean, being a former student athlete, being around them essentially my entire life, some sort of sport, whether it be family coaching, friends coaching, whatever it is, watching it, whatever it is, athletes, the standard that athletes are held to that's pressure in itself.
Right.
So at the end of the day, they're still human. Like, okay, prime example, Kyrie, you're in Ramadan, you make this fantastic shot. Now, what if you'd have missed it?
Right.
Then, what does that trickle down to? And for him being on that level, I feel like there's more pressure in the collegiate realm if you miss a shot like that. Case in point, Kent State played in the final against Akron, the MAC championship the other night. Kent scored a layup and was ahead. Player had no idea how much time was left, what the score was, and intentionally fouled somebody from Akron. Made both free throws. Akron is dancing. Kent to the house.
Yeah.
So you could see him just shut down and was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. And his teammates were loving on him and like, dude, it's cool. It's cool. But where is he at now? Like, how does he feel today?
Right.
Watching Akron, head to the wherever they're playing and, you're at the house. So it's stuff like that. And then the backlash from fans.
Woo.
Yes.
Lord.
That's the stuff people don't talk about. And that's where a lot of it comes from is you've never been in their shoes.
And
so how
media.
can you dictate death threats and all kind of stuff that people like to send out? Like, nah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And social media is like you said, social media is a huge factor too.
Because they're replaying your failure over and over and over and over again.
And people
turning it into a meme.
Yeah, I was saying, then people turn it into a meme, and then there's a million comments underneath that, like he sucks. Like, and it's like, it's the kid.
And this guy's calling you corny every time.
And Russell Wilson is the corniest player ever created.
It's like, not again.
Russell Wilson's corny. I love him, but he's corny. But yes, it's that. But that's true though, because they read it. Like I remember, I had to tweet one of the newscasters, Nick Stevens. He hates me to this day because I did it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I did it. I tweeted him and tagged him. Stop talking negatively about my kids. They read this shit, and that was the tweet. Like, you're a grown man. These are high school kids, man. Stop. Because they would bring it to me like, Coach, look what he said. Look what he said. And so then now, because they see you on TV, they see you on the news.
They think they can say whatever.
And and then the kids take it personally because it's like, damn, man, like he's the news guy talking about me. So I had to do that. And then now you don't like me.
I think it's important.
Get in line.
Yes. It's important to have that advocacy because, like you said, until this position was created, which, kudos to
Cleveland State.
Yeah, to Cleveland State for saying, okay, this needs to be something that we need to implement. Where would these students go? Most of their coaches probably like, oh, it's no big deal. Just, shrug it off.
Suck it up. We got practice Monday.
Exactly.
God damn it. I ain't gonna have time for that.
Are probably saying the same thing. Oh, it's no big deal. Don't worry about it. So who's going to be that person that's going to say, let's listen and let's dissect this and let's sit with this and tell me how it makes you feel. And then let's start talking about some of the coping mechanisms to get you through this because it's not going to stop.
You better go see Lena before practice starts because we ain't got time for this shit. That's what they're going to say. Like, no, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I've had people say that to me. Like, I told them, like,
right.
And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Well, Bean, we are here for you, and I'm so appreciative for everything that you're doing, especially just being being a Black woman doing this. Hey,
400 students.
Hey, this is the reason why we had to highlight you during International Women's History Month, because you are impacting now. You're awesome. Yay!
I do want to toot my horn a little bit.
Do it.
Toot away.
Do it.
I had I can't get specific. I got to be real general, but I had some student athletes that, performance anxiety came. We chit chat a couple times. They went out and did their thing pretty well. Like,
as I tell people,
I can't get more details because it's gonna give it away. But
yeah.
they did their best. Like, really good job.
You're doing it.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you. I'm not fast enough to get to the hand clap.
I was going to say, we're we didn't. It's okay.
Okay.
All right. It's all right. We gave real ones.
Woo!
Yeah, yay.
Wah, 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 wah.
All the sound effects.
We didn't get to the buttons fast enough. It's okay.
I'm sorry. All right.
No, but I love it though. It doesn't feel like work. Like everybody's been so great.
Yeah.
So far.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
We appreciate you.
We appreciate you, Bean. We appreciate you taking the time with TDS and listening to us in our foolishness.
What's gonna be the next one? Because I was on First and Goal and I'm on this. What's gonna be the next one?
I don't know.
I'm gonna say TDS when it goes national.
I was gonna say next time we do vacation, we'll do a live TDS.
Oh,
I think that would be hilarious.
Just set my wig,
especially
in the
with
frame.
GK and what?
Just set my wig in the frame. When I'm on vacation, I ain't doing shit.
It'll be fun.
I don't know if people want to see us like that.
Let's
I'm
bring
a pillar
Chuck.
I'm a pillar of community. Nah, Chuck. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put my guy through that. Not live. That is definitely a closed door conversation.
Ooh.
Like that dude said, they cooking mine.
That's what these white people are doing to me. My phone will not stop buzzing over here. They are lighting me on fire on damn social media. Steeler Nation is whooping my ass, but that's okay.
Well, with that,
they're gonna be cheering in a minute, so
right.
They will.
All right.
Don't forget that they even have that conversation.
Yeah.
Until we start losing. But with that being said, Bean, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And then to those of you who are watching, thank you so much. We appreciate you as always for your questions, for your commentary. Please keep it up. Tomorrow we'll be back with another special guest.
Yes.
And remember, we won't be here Thursday because we got to do work. So
Yeah,
we got a lot of things.
We got a lot this week.
A lot going on. But we'll be back on Friday. So yay.
So stay with us, or not stay with us. I'm sorry. We're about to leave. So see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. You guys have a great night. And bye-bye.
You said God willing, we'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm off. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. I'm sorry. It was a long day with these kids today. I'm tired. I gotta lay down.
So you was like
That's why the mic cut off, because you was talking shit. See?
All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Bean. See you later.
Bye.